most people, have never done anything entrepreneurial. They've never been in a business. They've never stepped out of a comfort zone. There are just some people, their personality is, oh, no, I'm scared. I don't want to try anything. And they always complain, it seems like. They complain about the weather, taxes, their boss, sometimes their spouse. But they never look in the mirror and say, you know, mirror, it's my life. What am I going to do about it? It's my life. What am I going to do about it? No one's going to knock on the door and give you a pot of gold. It's your life. It's your future. Your decisions, your simple choices in the moment all matter. And it's going to lead you to success or failure. You never stay in the middle. So most people got to learn how to step out of this comfort zone. They got to learn how to approach other people because they don't feel comfortable with it. And most people think that selling is trying to convince somebody to buy something or to do something they don't really want to do. See, I don't look at it that way. I don't even look at myself as we're selling anything. I know this is direct sales. I know we're in marketing. But you know what I really feel I'm doing? I'm an educator. I've become a teacher over my history of 20 years in this industry. I've become an educator. I educate people to possibility. I educate them to possibility in their own lives. I get them to look beyond the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the paycheck, so that they can see, have they created any asset value after they came back from work? And most people are not saving very much money. It's been a difficult economy for people in many countries around the world. And yet, here's an opportunity to put time into something, which is not a paycheck to make a living, but it's the time you invest to build a dream, to build a fortune. See, and I get so frustrated when people work harder for someone else to just make a living than they work for themselves, which could build them a fortune and change their future forever. Let me tell you what the answer is for most people. It's the tools of the business. If I want to dig a hole in the ground, I could use a shovel. If it's got to be a big hole, it's going to take me a long time. Give me a big, what we call a backhoe, which is a big machine with the thing that goes down and takes, you know, one scoop, right? Could take more than I could get in a day with just shoveling. So tools are critical to the business. See, a tool for a new representative is so important because they're not experienced enough to tell the story effectively to new people. Tools help the new representative tell the story the moment they join the business. I never sponsor a new partner without making sure they're armed and ready to go talk to people. See, I learned something in my career in this industry, that you don't want to be perceived as the message, because your prospect will judge everything on you. You want to become the messenger. Let me tell you how I started in this industry, the real story before ACN. I was living in Portland, Maine, grew up there. I went to college in Boston, Massachusetts, 2 hours south. After 2 years of school, I told my dad I'm leaving college. I'm going to drop out because I want to chase a dream. Since I was 7 years old, I was playing guitar. And my dream was to become a rock and roll star. I really did. I wanted to be on this stage in Cologne playing. Oh, I've done that before. I actually wanted to tour the world and play music. I had some success right out of college. We had one record sell 50,000 copies, and it sold in France. Can you imagine that? Most of you don't realize, but we had a single in 1980 that sold 50,000 copies in France. Now, I have to tell you, I've grown to have great respect for my French friends. Number one, I do. You have great taste, okay, in wine, great taste in food, and great taste in music. I mean, honestly. The record didn't sell anywhere else in the rest of the world, just France. I don't know why, but I guess I was destined to be in business with my French friends. So anyway, so here I am, 10 years after making this decision to leave college. I was nearly 30 years old, and I wasn't broke. I was below broke. I was below broke. My father said, please go back and finish your degree in college and get a good job. He says, you've been playing music for 10 years, and I never wanted to play in a wedding band. I didn't want to play at the Holiday Inn, the hotels. I didn't want to be a music teacher. I had a big dream. I wanted to travel the world, have fun, get residual income from hit records. That's a royalty over and over. Live the rock star dream lifestyle, right? That's what I was thinking. And then the reality of being 30 years old and below broke. I didn't have a bank account. The car I was driving literally had a hole in the floor. I would cover it with a carpet, but you put your foot there, you'd push right through the bottom of the floor. And that's at 30 years old. I want you to know my real story, because sometimes people come to something like this, they hear George and my success, and they think we were born with this organization. We started just like you 12 years ago, and it wasn't always easy. We went up, we went down, we had problems, we had this, we had that, we had bad press, we had this, we had that. Things didn't go right in Amsterdam sometimes. Sometimes the product market changed. But you know what? ACN kept getting stronger by learning from adversity. The owners have shown me so much as I've become their friends over years, that, you know, it's easy in life to look like the hero when everything's great. But you learn about character when you're challenged with problems, and that's what I saw. These guys kept looking for another way to get the job done, how to provide more futures, for better opportunity, better services, a better future, better management. And these things have happened for us. So let me tell you how I started now that you know where I was. I was below broke. Someone, a friend of mine, asked me to look at a direct selling business, network marketing. My hair was down the middle of my back. I had earrings at the time. Now they pierce everything. But back then I had pierced earrings, ripped jeans. And I went to a presentation. Everybody was in the nicest suits. They were afraid of me and said, please sit in the back corner. No joke. They were hoping no one would notice I was there. I'm watching the presentation, and the only thing I remember was the story about building residual income. The speaker said it was like having a best-selling book or a best-selling record. You could earn royalties over and over again. He said it's a better way to earn money. And I said, when I left that night, this is incredible. So I got started. You know what I did? I acquired, I didn't have very much money. I didn't even have the starter fee. Back then, they wanted thousands of dollars to buy inventory and products. But what I did come up with was about $100, because back then it was videotapes. And each tape was almost $20. I bought 5 videotapes, and that was like all the money I could come up with. I kept one with me, and I took 4. Every day for 2 weeks, I went out and I handed 4 videotapes to people. And that started my career in network marketing. Let me tell you what happened. I handed out 4 one day. The next day I went to pick it up. Some people never even watched it. Some people lied to me. I had one good friend of mine, his father, who was a very successful businessman. I said, would you please evaluate this business? Is people making a lot of money with it? I love your opinion. Maybe you know somebody that could help me out. All good things to say. That's what I was trained. And he said, sure, I'll take 8 minutes to watch it. I said, can I come back tomorrow and get it? I got somebody else waiting. He said, sure. I came back the next day. He said, you know, Artie, I took a look. It's not for me. Good luck. So it was a very short conversation. I thanked him. He gave me the bag back. I reached in the bag when I went in the car, and I got depressed because the videotape was wrapped in shrink wrap, you know, the wrap. So he never even watched it. He lied to me. And now the demon was in my head. You can't do this. You're a broke musician driving a car with a hole in the floor. Who's going to listen to you? And I was really discouraged. I was really thinking, you know, maybe, you know, because there's civil war in the mind. Yes, you can. No, you can't. Yes, you can. No, you can't. You know, you go through this mental, emotional roller coaster. But I kept to the plan. I made my contact list. There was a presentation my sponsors were going to drive 2 hours to do in Portland, Maine. And I showed 4 videotapes a day. I picked them up. If they didn't watch them, I realized they weren't going to, you know, they either didn't think enough of me or they just weren't looking for an opportunity. So I did that so often that some people actually had questions. I was honest. I said, I don't have all the answers, but I know where to get them. You know, within 2 weeks, this guy from Boston is going to make a presentation. Would you at least come and get more information? They said, we'd love to. So the whole process for 2 weeks, I got many names off my list, and guess what? 15 guests showed up at the presentation. With my sponsor, his upline, me, 17 people in the total room. Okay, so we had all those guests, but I must have handed out and tried to circulate those videos at least 50 times to get that many people to show up. Now, not everybody joined the business, but a handful of people did, and we're talking startup costs are around $5,000 back in that time to buy products. So that was my beginning of my network marketing career. Tools was the most important part of my success because I had no personal credibility, no business credibility. I didn't have the language skills. I wasn't driving a fancy car. I didn't own a nice suit. I had long hair. And yet, I found a way to become the top money earner in one of the biggest network marketing companies in MLM history. It's unbelievable. Now, many of you already know the value of tools within your organization. Because George and I have such a huge organization, I can actually see where production comes from each group. And it's obvious to me when groups aren't growing, and it's a simple equation. The groups that aren't growing, they're not introducing enough people to the opportunity. They're not using the tools. They're not demonstrating the best tool we have, the video phone. Stop talking about a video phone and start demonstrating a video phone, and your business could change with that one correction. You have to see it to experience it. It's a product that needs to be touched, felt, used, and experienced. You can't just explain what a video phone is. They don't feel that. But when they can see someone, they realize there's more value. Not only is generally savings using digital service, but the added value of video is really going to be a great thing for people to experience. Now, with the tools ACN's development, man, we have a great marketing department. I can tell you after 10 years, 12 years in ACN, seeing how the tools have developed and the professional image we have is just unbelievable. If you get your team using the tools properly, it's a consistent and clear message. It's something that can be duplicated. It's an awesome tool, sometimes to pique interest. I use it a lot of times to have it as a first look. Rather than me try to, fumble through the presentation, not really know how to present the story, the tools tell it perfectly. I also sometimes use it as a follow-up tool to confirm people to the events. But it really is a natural situation when you have the magazines, when you have the DVDs. It empowers the new team trainer to present the ACN opportunity professionally from the very first day they start. Now, obviously, the Success from Home magazine has been a new addition over the last year or so with ACN. And this Success from Home magazine is very powerful. By the way, in America, this is a public magazine. It's on sale all over the U.S. We were just on the cover for, I think, a record 5 years in a row this past August, just a month ago. Every bookstore in the country in America had ACN's co-founders on the cover again because ACN's growth is unprecedented. We're growing where most companies in this economy are struggling. They're letting people go. They're letting employees go. They're struggling to find ways to grow. ACN has so much opportunity coming toward us that you have no idea what's coming over the next couple of years. And the most important thing is that you don't miss out on what could be yours. What's yours? Now, if you have this magazine, you're going to have an additional tool that you have no idea how powerful it becomes. See, in the beginning, we only had the DVD. I moved to Europe in 2003. I lived over here in 2003 and 2004. My family moved to the Netherlands. At that time, there was no DVD. The first thing I asked Mr. Sevenosky, I said, Robert, we need a marketing tool that tells the story. My best success, whether it was been with Florence and John out of London, or the Alexanders, or Nino Ciaccio and Filippo Silvi, Francoise Monfray, these are all people that we brought into ACN. Same thing with Miriam and Bosch or Motts. These are top players in ACN. You know what we did to get them involved? We had to get them to fly in. We had to get them into the headquarters of ACN. We had to get them into that headquarters. We wanted to see that there was a real building here. We then took them to an international as we started to grow. In the early days, there wasn't crowds like this. But seeing that it was there, a real company, gave them a story and more belief in the opportunity. You know, that's what we did when Hank DeBrink started with us years ago, and Elliot Hill. These people made a difference. We got them into the office. Michael Wenner, another leader. Frank Lippert. These are guys that I've been with for a long time. Jonas Rappe. We go back a long time. Klaus Nielsen from Denmark. You know, there's so many leaders in our team that make us look good. You know, I remember Miguel and Augusto down in Portugal telling me, this will never work. We know telecom, we know deregulation, we know direct selling. It won't work in Portugal. They've been on the Circle of Champions for a number of years in a row. Obviously, they've done pretty good with it. See, we had to get them to validate the business to them, and they'll tell you, they got to an international and they went to the office. Now, the magazine brings all of this to your prospect without having to spend the expense of going to Amsterdam. Now, frankly, I'd still like getting people to the office. Wayne's been incredible offering tours and support, but this tool, the magazine, is so powerful. And then when you combine that with the dual disc, how many times can you press play? If you can do nothing else, if you can't do a 1 to 10, you can't talk very well, you have no credibility, but you can press play over and over and over, your business will change. Your business will change. But let's talk about the DVDs and the magazines. Let's talk about how you use them. I want to help you. I want you to remember how you use them. First of all, we're a warm market company. It's my personal relationship should open the door. Now, of course, sometimes I meet people on a plane, in an airport, in a restaurant. As a matter of fact, Larry Raskin and I were having a bite to eat with Mr. Tony Koupas last night, and we were piquing the interest of these English people sitting next to us. But we made a mistake. We didn't have a DVD in our pocket. We even make mistakes. I wish I had had a DVD because it would have said so much more. Then let me get your email. Here's my card, your card. If I had had a DVD in my pocket, I would have gladly spent the couple of euros it takes to take that possibility to give to those people who are here for a convention of another company to see what could have happened. Larry and I looked at each other and said, how did we miss out on that? Okay, so warm market is how you start, but I want to help you with this kind of emotional up and down. When you make your contact list, the most important first step, here's the job. Don't worry about who becomes a rep. Don't worry who becomes a customer. Just focus on getting the names off your list. That's it. You want to earn money faster? You want to get promoted faster? Get more people exposed to the opportunity. You know, we talk about 2 DVDs a day, 2 DVDs a day. Invest in your business. See, when I started, I did 4 videos a day. Videotapes was all we had back in the day. It's a peak interest tool, as we said, but it's critical in the follow-up as well. Now, the magazine is such a great complement, and you need to know that. See, no one sits and watches a DVD all day long over and over and over. But if I'm your prospect, you pique my interest, you give me a DVD and a magazine, the next day, I'm having my coffee. I'm reading a story. I read about Daniel, and I see how his success, and I'm thinking, I have a background like him. You know, I read through, oh, look at Dominique Cano-Flores. I said, my God, look at what this guy's been doing. You know, you read success stories. People see the company history in that magazine. See, you may only have one chance at that prospect. And some of you are just, really, I understand. I put myself in your shoes. I was talking to people last night. I know money is an issue. I know if you could, you'd want to have 100 DVDs every day. But let's look at the difference between price and cost. There is a price, but what is the cost? If I only give that DVD and they really didn't even watch it or watched it once, the phone rang, they got busy, the magazine wasn't there, I may miss that person forever. But having that magazine, family member may look at it and say, have you seen the stories that are in here? That could change everything. You see what I'm saying? You need to have that. You need to have that. The tool gives you a chance to make the best impression the first time. Let me tell you, ACN is going to keep changing. And I want to help you with something I think is critically important that you take away today. You need to develop the art of communication. I heard Brian Sachs say that, Senior Vice President living in Australia. He talked about ACN and network marketing as more of an art form. And I really thought about that statement, and it is true. There's more than anything an art to the communication, the art of inviting, the art of piquing someone's interest. You know, we all have our own personalities, and the tools give us a way to level the playing field. But you know what? As ACN is becoming more intriguing as an opportunity, meaning we're adding more and more products, more and more services. Wayne Holbrook told us we've gone from 22 to over something like 58 services in the European markets, and don't be surprised when that goes more than 100 services in the near future. Now, let me clear some things up for you. New reps, I've been in 1 to 10 presentations, and all of a sudden they're going through all the different products, and the product section used to be like 5 or 10 minutes. It's become 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You know what? I have been very successful in network marketing, no doubt, and I know why. I realize that we're a customer acquisition machine, but I know how I acquire more customers than anybody else, and it's by presenting a value proposition. Not only for the products, but more importantly, since I'm networking the opportunity, I need to present a value proposition for the opportunity. Some of you are in sales. You're trying to sell product. You're trying to sell video phones. You know what I do? I tell my personal story. I love it. I love calling my family and friends on it. I have stories after stories, especially around the holidays with the video phones. I have savings to talk about, so I'm a walking testimonial about ACN products. So I already am able to present value from a personal story. So I'm not selling, I'm educating people about it. See, here's the important thing. As ACN is diversified from different services in different countries, your new people are going to wonder, well, what am I supposed to do? I've seen people that get confused, they freeze, they don't do anything. You know what the value proposition is? I'm going to show you a better way to earn. My friend Annie, I'd say, Annie, listen, we're friends. I just saw this new business. It's incredible what's going on with it. And in fact, Annie, I'm learning about a better way to earn money. What do you mean? Well, see, most people, they exchange time for money, they told me. It's called linear income. Work more hours, get more money. We have a way to build residual income where you can get paid over and over again. See, residual income is a powerful thing. It's like having a best-selling record. In fact, most people have jobs. See, when you have a job, how much do you really save this month, this week, this year? Business ownership is what people really know gives them the best chance for financial independence. But what about the investments of traditional business, the risk of traditional business? Most business owners find out that the business owns them. It really does. It never runs the same without you. But home business gives you a way to start a business without all the risk, the investment of traditional business. See, what I've been teaching is network marketing for 20 years. My success in ACN, and you ask every leader we have, is I teach network marketing as a distribution system to move all kinds of products and services. We're redirecting the spending on bills people pay anyway. I'd say to my friend, Annie, let me ask you a question, and you try this with your prospect. Annie, how much money do you get paid for using your telephone? Your home phone, your mobile? How much do you get paid for watching television? How about the internet? She's going to say, what are you talking about? I get commissions every month from my own bills. And I've been sharing the products with other people. I'm getting more customers, and the billing revenue grows, and I can't believe it. My part-time home business gives me a potential for residual income in the future, and that's going to give me some big changes in my life. See, you got to stop selling product and start marketing the dream. Show the possibility in the dream of ACN. You need to create urgency with the tools. I say, can you review this tonight? Now, the best thing is I watch it with them. But I do want to talk to them. Can you review it tonight? And then you've got to do proper follow-up. What did you like best? I never say, what did you think? Oh, yeah, I should think. No, you saw the information. I want to do research. Let me tell you what the research is. Look in the mirror. How much money did you save last month? What's your lifestyle like? What are you driving? Is your car paid for? Are you living in the house you want? Are your children going to the schools you want? Do you have the time to spend with your kids, or do you have to work all the time and you haven't any time to be with your kids? What is it that's important to you? So I ask people, what did you like best about the business? What they saw. Now, generally, that leads to questions, okay? I don't have all the answers, but I know where to get them. And that's when I either schedule a three-way call or I take them to some type of presentation. Could be a home presentation, a business opportunity. See, that is a simple process I learned and I've taught, and I continue to lead by example, because in this business more than any others, people don't do what you do. They see what you do and duplicate it. That's the fact. The only time I've seen local meetings, and many of you people need to listen to this, the leaders, the only time I've seen the local business opportunity meetings stop growing is when you, the presenters, the trainers, the superstars, you stop bringing the guests. You want to hear a fact? Miriam and Bosch in Spain have been up and coming in this company. They've been #1 producers. Do you know how many personal recruits they're doing every month? Every month, they're recruiting at least 5 new team trainers themselves. Is that amazing? 5 new partners themselves. They lead by example. Now, if you want your people to start duplicating your business, the tools are the answer. It creates a culture within your team. We also have an incredible business assistant. You know, this business assistant is very important. How can you have a business without a distributor website? I mean, the distributor website gives you a professional presence, gives you a branded business email account, allows you to check your entire downline. The video emails, I know in one of the countries we just came out with a new email for customers for energy, talking about the value of our energy product. Send those emails to your friends. They watch it. They call you up and say, how can I save money with my gas and electricity? So many of you have this and you're not using the features of the tool. You need to really understand your business. This is an important thing. Now here's the great part about subscribing to this. Okay? Every month you're going to get 10 DVDs in the mail. That puts you in a situation where you have to be consistent with what you're doing. You know each month you're going to get these 10 DVDs. And by the way, many of you have DVDs in your house, in your office, in your car, right? Magazines. What are they doing in your house, your car, in your office? They make you no money sitting in your car. Just let's make a commitment that everything we've got for tools is going to get out of our hands and into someone else's hands, and watch what happens to your business. Now, each team in ACN around the world, once people become regional vice presidents, senior vice presidents, a lot of time they offer their own support. Just additional information they want to edify within their group's leadership. And too many people don't really participate on a regular basis in the leadership team calls they do. I've been doing calls, which has been the lifeline of my business for every year. I've been here 12 years. I do them in many languages. Every Monday, I'm spending 2 hours. I do 6 conference calls every Monday in different countries, different languages. Now, many leaders do the same thing. We do webinars nowadays. We're using the new technology. In fact, George and I have been working on a new website, and many of your websites are linked through OurUNIteam.com. Now, of course, most of it's still in English because we've only been up for a few weeks, but we have a lot of international and all languages we're going to be supporting on this website. You want to hear what's going on in France? Click on this and you're going to find Francoise's website link right there under international. You want to find a meeting in Australia? Click on Australia. You're going to get the websites of Brian Sachs, so you'll be able to learn what meetings are going out there. It becomes a central landing page to link everybody. Tools leverage the time. See, network marketing is not a mystery, so forget that this is kind of a lucky thing. It's like advertising. See, if you want to create a brand name of products, if you want to create an image, you have to have products to market, right? And generally you do advertising. There's no emotion. A percentage of this audience will be interested in our product. Let's advertise to everybody. Let the law of averages work. Hopefully, we make enough money to reinvest to keep growing. So in network marketing, it's the same thing. If you want your personal production to grow, it's simple. There's no mystery. Increase the number of times people are exposed to the opportunity and the products. There's no other solution. There's no shortcut. It's consistent effort that matters. And it's teaching something that duplicates. I teach people, if you want to really coach your people properly, ask them to keep an activity log of what they do. Because when someone comes to you and says they're struggling, say, let's see your activity log. You're going to find they didn't talk to anybody, or they talked to 3 people, and one said, boo! And they, I'm out. And then they decide to leave. See, that daily activity is very important. Here's the time management. 2 DVDs a day. Wayne says it. Tony Cooper says it. Mike Cooper says it. I duplicate 2 a day, 5 days a week. I even take the weekends off if I want. That's 10 exposures the first week to make the math easy. 40 exposures the first month. How can you not get 2 people interested or more? How can it happen? It can't. It's the law of averages. How about if you have 10 reps in your team? Just 10 business partners. How fast can you grow? Everybody's doing the same thing. 2 a day, 5 days a week is 100 exposures a week. That's 400 a month. How could you not be exploding? Your income should be going up all the time if you commit to the tools. Yes, I know it's a cost, but you got to do it. It's a business. Treat it like a business. It will pay you like a business. There's a €1 million secret I want to share with you. Good people aren't trained, they are found. Jim Rohn said that. I love Jim Rohn's training. Some of you know who Jim Rohn is. Recently passed away. He taught me so much about how to think, how to live, how to treat people. I've been listening to his stuff and many other personal development trainers for years. And you know what I heard when I first joined ACN from Mike Kupis? I was in a training. He said, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. It's the timing. I said no to Larry because the timing wasn't right. You're going to get people saying no to you because the timing's not right. See, it's a personal timing issue, but if you're going to succeed, you've got to trust the process.